If you came across this video on your own, you are fine. But if you were sent this, then that means Evil Larry is going to eat your peener with a side of rice.
A few days ago, I noticed a lot of you guys on Discord asking me to check out a creator called DD Informer because apparently it's similar to Dr. Data but slightly more lobotomized. And so I actually got in contact with DD Informer himself, visited his house, violently ripped off his DD and sold it on the black market for around 30,000 Australian dollars. Anyways, let's check him out. What if you sold fried chicken in ancient Greece?
What if you sold fried chicken in ancient Greece? Day 1. You arrive in Greece with raw chicken, flour, oil, and a bronze pot. Philosophers are debating. Athletes training nearby in the dust. They eat figs and barley. You season the chicken and prepare it. Lower it into hot oil. The crackling sound cuts through conversation. The smell spreads through warm Mediterranean air. 20 men gather up and stare at you. Day 2. You set up outside the Acropolis of Athens. People wait hours for your meat. They start calling it Golden Bird. 30 athletes line up after training. Grease on their fingers, silence while chewing. By nightfall, you've made a week's wage. Day 3. Things go downhill. Oil needs replacing. Chicken spoils in the heat. Half your stock wasted. You cross the countryside at sunrise. Strike a deal with a farmer outside the city walls. Fresh chicken and oil every morning. Week 1. Socrates approaches your stand. You decide you're going to teach him a lesson. But this time, he doesn't ask a question. He just tries your chicken and leaves. You call him a weirdo. He just walks away. Month 6. The lines extend. You get called to make chicken for the emperor. He tries it with tears in his eyes. You get given a kitchen and workers. You reach peak ascension. Year 1. People all over the country have tried your meat. You didn't bring fried chicken to Greece. You brought them desire.
Wait, desire? Desire for what? Your meat? So the whole point of this is to get people to want to eat your meat. Why are you so obsessed with people wanting to eat your meat? What even is this? Have you sold fried chicken in ancient Greece? I mean, technically they could. Like, technically, the ancient Greeks could have made fried chicken because chickens were invented back then, I think. Oil was invented. Baby oil was also not invented back then. Flour was invented. You could have just made it. It's just a recipe. How hard is it? Just butcher a chicken, like rub it in flour and then dip it in oil. It's fried chicken. Or maybe chickens didn't exist. She says like the athletes eat figs and barley. Is this really enough like of a diet to sustain an athlete? I don't even know, bro. Is this real? Is this like factually correct or not? What's the point of thinking about this though? Like there's no way this can happen because like it just didn't happen in the past, bro. Somebody in chat just asked, are there black people in Greece? Why would you ask that question? Like, explain yourself, please. Like it says that is your first ever chat message in this channel. Please explain what you mean by that. Okay, they're not explaining themselves. They've gone into hiding. They've gone into hiding. Okay, they've gone into hiding. Okay, that's what I thought.
Your flow changes every day.
Into hiding. Okay, they've gone into hiding. Okay, that's what I thought. Don't be racist on this channel. People all over the country have tried your meat. Everyone waits hours for your meat. Bro, that's just like me. Everyone waits hours for my meat as well. Shut up, not funny. Modern Doctor versus medieval Europe.
What if a modern doctor went to medieval Europe? Day 1. You wake up in the streets of London, where illness is treated with tradition and prayer. You see doctors walking around wearing beaks. They call it medicine. You call it infection. Day 2. You boil water before drinking it. Wash your hands before you touch a patient and clean wounds instead of covering them. They mock you until fewer people die. Day 3. You isolate the sick and separate clean from contaminated. You burn infected cloth. The survival rates rise.
Back then?
They call it a miracle.
They call it a miracle. I think it's just called brain cells and common sense. Wait, they didn't do this back then? Back then, they never washed their hands before doing anything? They didn't clean wounds? They just covered it? Bro, of course, if you cover it with an infection there, it's gonna infect the whole thing. It's gonna be like a cycle. Also, okay, the boiling water, okay, like maybe, okay, me personally, I don't do this, and that's probably why I have explosive diarrhea every week. But the tap water in Melbourne is fine, honestly. I think you only have to do this when you're camping and that. But then, yeah, like separating the clean people from the contaminated people. I feel like that's common sense, right? That's common sense, right?
Day 4. A child with a high fever survives the night because you cool him and keep him hydrated. Word spreads faster than disease ever did. They stop calling you a miracle and start following. Day 5. You introduce basic sanitation. Hope grows. People travel miles to see you and line up outside your door before sunrise. Day 6. The church gets word of you. They watch you heal without prayer and cure without ritual. They don't question your results. They question your authority. Day 7. The church
Oh.
closes in and you're removed before sunrise. You're erased, but your methods remain.
What? Wait, that actually happened. So if you didn't align with the church, you're cooked. Get out. So wait, the church were trying to heal people with magical spells as if it was Harry Potter? No wonder why so many people died. Okay, so no wonder why they're calling this guy a miracle. This really happened in medieval Europe. The church controlled it. Actually, you know what? That actually kind of makes sense because in Freerun, for example, it's the church people who have the magic that can heal people. Is that a common thing? I think that's a common thing. If your Purag is your power, what are you without it? I'm nothing. I have no healing power. The Purag gives me the healing power, just like the churches, like the priests in the church. Why is the church trying to take all the aura? I don't know. I feel like that's just like a common thing throughout history. The church always tries to take the aura. I think they have authority. I think it's because of authority and all that stuff. Someone says, but your fursuit gives you power. Okay, first of all, I do not have a fursuit. And second of all, even if I did have a fursuit, I feel like it would be a nerf. I would just get so sweaty and itchy in there that I wouldn't be able to unleash the full power of the Alpha Sigma male. What if you brought electricity to ancient Egypt?
What if you brought
not even
electricity
able
to
to
ancient
afford
Egypt? Day
a
1.
fucking
You wake up on your knees at the edge of the
dog
Nile. A crocodile waits in the water. The
Death
pharaoh
sentence.
asks, any final words? You ask for Jed, Amber, and Linen. They laugh. You rub them together.
Fire?
A spark snaps.
my
Everyone
God.
goes quiet. Day 2. You're brought before the pharaoh. You tell him, you can build power and weapons. You make a shock device.
Why does he
a
look
guard
like that?
touches it. He drops. The pharaoh no longer doubts you.
You're what? Wait, you just killed the pharaoh. Wait, so you
Pizza in ancient Rome. Day 1. You arrive in Rome with flour, cheese,
Oh, God.
crushed tomatoes, olive oil, and a clay oven on a cart. The forum
A
is
clay
chaos.
oven on a cart?
Merchants shouting, gladiators passing through. You set up your station and start cooking.
Bro, I don't know whether a clay oven on a cart is the best place to put an oven. Like, do you see what material this cart is made out of? Well, how are you heating the clay oven? You must heat it from underneath, which means there must be a fire contained in that cart. How is the cart just not burning? This doesn't make any sense.
You stretch the dough perfectly and pull out the first slice. The smell
Damn,
cuts
looks
through
good.
smoke and sweat. Gladiator smells it. 20 men stop mid-step. Day 2.
Pampers 360
Start to queue up. You call it fire bread. You park near the Colosseum.
Fire bread.
30 gladiators line up
Bro,
before
how is it
training.
not burning?
2 silver coins a slice. By noon, you've made a week's wage. Day 3. Disaster. Cheese spoils in the Mediterranean heat. Nearly everything wasted. You cross the Tiber at sunrise and find a dairy farmer outside the city walls.
And then you grab the cows yourself, you brutally milk them, and make your own cheese from it. Yeah?
Fresh cheese every morning. Crisis is handled.
Oh, okay,
Week
you
1.
okay, you buy it. Okay,
Socrates
you
is
buy it.
traveling by Rome. He asks you, if the dough is your power, what are you without
down,
it?
bro.
You feel like throwing the pizza at him. Month
Do it,
1.
do it.
After the games,
Do it.
thousands pour out hungry. You sell 500 slices
this
before
triangle?
sunset. A senator's advisor shows
I'll
up,
be
takes a
like
bite.
Bart.
Next morning,
No, no,
you're
I'll be
summoned by
like
the emperor. Now you cater private banquets.
Homer,
Gold
and
replaces silver.
you'll be
Month
like
6.
Bart.
12
Damn.
workers.
Strangling
Ovens
you
across
and
3
like,
districts.
you
Legionnaires and
little-
gladiators eat your slices
Scaling,
daily.
turning it into a
Year 1.
business.
Copycats everywhere. Sales dip. You sit above the forum and realize you didn't give Rome pizza, you gave them a legacy.
Damn, that's deep. That is deep. So is this the Socrates? Is this the Socrates? If you are the dough, the power of the dough, then the dough powers the pizza, the toenail, the toe, right? Somebody in chat just said, if guts and feet is your power, then what are you without it? How does that make any sense at all? Someone said the mitochondria, it makes sense now. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So that's what it means. That's what it means. But anyways, I think this is very typical. So you create a business that's successful, and then people start copying you, and then everything just goes downhill. But I don't know. At least he has the legacy, right? Why does Socrates always appear to ask that damn question? But I mean, I feel like it's an important question to ask, right? Right? Wait, what question did they even ask again? I can't even remember. It's the if the dough is the toe, the toenail of the dough, the power of the toe, then what is the power of the toenail? I mean, what is the power of the toenail? What if you escaped North Korea?
What if you tried to escape North Korea? Day
It's been
1,
done
you
once
decide
before.
you've had enough and plan your escape. You have 3 options: the South
DMZ?
Korean border,
Yeah,
the
no.
sea, or China.
Sea.
Choose China.
Bro, why would you choose China? China, they're allies with North Korea. They're gonna send you straight back. Why would you choose China? China is out of those 3 options, worst decision, worst option. If any of you guys are watching this from North Korea, do not go through China. They are allies with North Korea. Also, don't go through the DMZ. You'll most likely get shot down before you can do it. I think the only way to do it is by sea, and that's the only way it has been done, like documented, that somebody escaped by sea.
You start planning. You don't tell anyone. Not friends, not family. You look for a smuggler. It costs you everything you have. Month 1, you meet a middleman. No names,
Oh my
no
God.
trust, just instructions. You don't say goodbye, you leave quietly. The smuggler picks you up, and after hours, you make it into China, but this is just the beginning. Month 2, a Chinese family hides you. You get a new
What?
name. You work construction by day.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. This is very unrealistic. A Chinese family is gonna hide you? Bro, that whole entire Chinese family is gonna get brutally diddled by the Chinese government once they find this North Korean defector hiding in your house. Everyone's going to get diddled. Like, no person will be spared. Everyone will get diddled.
Wash dishes at night. You start learning Mandarin. Every word matters. Year 1, you start to blend in. Accent improving.
You're gonna
Then
stay
one
in
day,
China?
Police walk into the restaurant. They ask for you by name. You get interrogated for hours. Then they hand you a language test. If you fail, you're sent back.
What?
Months of work would be gone. After hours of waiting, you pass. Year 2,
What? Wait, so to prove that you're a Chinese citizen, they make you do a language test. Is that really the best way to prove that you're from China? I feel like there are much better ways to prove that you're from China, right? Also, why would you stay in China? I feel like the play is to just only go there as like a middleman and then go straight to, I don't know, some random other country that you want to go to if you want to really escape. Like, you can go to South Korea, right? I'm pretty sure South Korea always welcomes the North Korean defectors with open arms. And so you're allowed to go from North Korea to South Korea. You just have to fly from China to South Korea. Although that would be very suspicious. Like, there'd be probably like a lot of security there.
Year 2, you keep moving, city to city, never staying long. Eventually, you reach Southeast Asia. You seek asylum, and for the first time, you're free. You're one of the lucky ones, but most people never make it this far.
Bro, that is completely unrealistic. First of all, if you try to go through China, you're gonna get caught. You're not even gonna make it into China to begin with. And second of all, I'm pretty sure the strat is to not flee to Southeast Asia, but go to South Korea, because South Korea allows you to go in if you're from North Korea. That's literally the play. Unfortunately, North Koreans will never know this, because they will never know, see this YouTube short. Although I think it's a good thing that they never see this YouTube short. Otherwise, they're going to get absolutely cooked, like brutally diddled by everyone. What if you sold spicy buldak noodles in ancient Egypt?
What if you sold spicy buldak noodles in ancient Egypt? Day 1, you arrive in Egypt carrying a crate of buldak noodles. The streets smell like piss and sand. You boil the noodles in a clay pot. Then you pour in the deadly red sauce. You take out the slimy noodles and pour them into a bowl. The smell alone makes people step back. A worker tries the first bite. He coughs, sweats, and shouts for
Okay, goodbye, guys.